9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Good evening, everybody. This is your PR princess, your timeless elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, on this Wednesday edition. A little bit late because I had to deal with technical issues on Streamline, but we're finally on. We're live. Happy with all of you because we are in Vegas and we do see Will Ospreay kicking off. And of course, I got to deal with that creep, Don Callis. But shout out to everybody in the chat because I saw you guys being actively involved. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I guess I got to hear what that creep has to say. I know. I came in on bad timing. And shout out to Jeffrey. Shout out to Boza. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Eddie Foster in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Oh, yes, because if you remember, Kenny Omega aligned himself with Don Callis before Don Callis stabbed Kenny Omega in the back. Oh, yeah, the world title. And he also won the TNA world title because that was when AEW and TNA were kind of in partnership. Oh, he did. I think with Will, he wants to achieve his childhood dream of winning in his home country. Oh, Lordy. Oh, yeah, that was interesting, 2023, because he was signing with the Don Callis family. I know he faced off against Orange Cassidy. I don't think anybody owes anything to you, Mr. Don Callis, because what does he owe you? I know, it's like he misses Kenny, he misses Will. I mean, come on. Shout out to Jeff Munnerlin chatted. You're siding with Don Callis? Ew. Oh, Lordy, and here come. You kind of knew the Don Callis family members are going to show up because there is Trent Barretta, Rocky Romero, and Jake Doyle coming in. Oh, yeah, Mark Davis, especially after what happened last week in that Mexican street fight from Arena Mexico, which they did what they needed to do. Pretty much this is like 4-on-1. This is 4-on-1. They really making sure of it. And asking you shall receive. It is the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega, and he brought a little weapon with him. Look what Jeffrey. He brought a little weapon to help him out. A lead pipe. Taking out both Rocky Romero, Trent Barretta, Jake Doyle, and probably Mark Davis got a. See, that was the smartest thing Mark Davis did. He got out of harm's way. And I love that. Just making sure, because I should have did this earlier. But Okay, we're good. I just had to adjust my camera a little bit because I was like, it looks a little wonky. Ooh, but let's hear what Kenny has to say. Ooh, he really was almost going to hit Will. It's funny, he warned him about Doc Ellis, but here we are. He's letting out a helping hand. Appreciated the help, but didn't ask for it. Oh boy. Well, it's gonna be very interesting. Very, very interesting in our main event happening. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay for the AEW World Title at All in London. It's gonna be very interesting on the road. Yeah, there's so much ego going into this match. It's like insanity. Oh, look, we have Tony Schiavone, we have Excalibur, and Paul White. Which, by the way, he's been a really good factor because I actually saw him on Collision because he's with Tony and Nigel, and it's kind of fun seeing Paul White in commentary because I know he wanted to beat up Tommaso Ciampa after he talked about his friend Chris Jericho. And yes, we do have the Continental Cup because we do have some matches, and we didn't have WWT Live today because all of our schedules are going crazy. Mine, Boss Lady, everybody's schedule. But quick rundown on the matches for AEW Dynamite. We have the TNT Championship match, the Jet Kevin Knight challenging Chris Jericho. We did see Darby Allin putting out the challenge for a Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT Championship at All in London. Hopefully, we'll get it official. And we are starting with the Continental Challenge Cup. They're already showing the rules. No outside interference, no time limits. 16 wrestlers compete in 8 blind draw matches. And pretty much 8 of the winners meet in the next round. So they're showing highlights from what happened on Collision over the weekend. Obviously, and we got some matches tonight. We have 2 rivals that have bad blood with each other. Switchblade Jay White taking on David Finlay. We also have, for the first time ever, Jungle Jack Perry taking on John Moxley. And also for the number 2 spot for All in London in the Casino Gauntlet, we have Nick Wayne taking on Speedball Mike Bailey, taking on the returning MJF. And surprise, surprise, we have not one, we have 2 ladies matches. We have a tag team match. The CMLL Women's World Champion Persephone and Hikaru Shida taking on the TBS champ Maya Worlds and Thunder Rosa. And also, we're going to have Chris Statlander take on Viva Van, which is awesome. And we're also going to hear from the new AEW Trios champions, Hangman Adam Page and Brodino. So I'm very excited. Coming to you from Las Vegas. I can't wait. And we're not wasting any time because up next is for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match at AEW All in London. MJF, Speedball Mike Bailey, Nick Wayne, my world opposites, Jeffrey. But they're showing what happened last week with the number 1 spot. We know Andrade has the number 1 spot, but he got blindsided by MJF. So they're going to have a very interesting rivalry. And I can tell you Andrade wants revenge. Yes. Well, that's fine. But, quote unquote time off. But Andrade, he probably wants some revenge against MJF. And I think it's going to be a really interesting rivalry. Obviously, of course, MJF had that dreadful Triple B championship. And he thinks he's the champ where technically you got pinned by Kenny Omega. And we're not wasting any time because we're going to find out. And, oh, yay, it's MJF. Put your confettis in, people. Yay, the biggest jerk in America, he's back. Yay. You can tell I'm not. You can tell I'm being sarcastic. He's the biggest jerk in America. I'm laughing at his jacket because if you see his jacket, he calls himself Big Hebrew. Which I understand because he's Jewish. He is Jewish in a way. So he's not what is it? Why is it threatening Justin Roberts? Leave the man be. What did Justin Roberts do to you? He thinks he's the real champion where technically you were pinned by Kenny Omega, sir. Oh boy. Well, we're just getting started with Viva Las Vegas, Sin City. Yeah, we're just getting started. Obviously, of course, the buzz has been going on with NXT last night. Zilla Fat 2 made his presence known. It's funny, we've been talking about this here on WWT for the last year and a half on where Zilla would be. But here we are. He's on NXT, and I think it's definitely going to shape because obviously a couple weeks ago you had Grayson Waller do that interesting promo that he did, Grayson Waller, and I think it's going to be very interesting in the men's division because I know we talked about the men's division needed something, so hopefully that could be very interesting. Actually, you should have saw the footage where Zilla Fatu's mother was almost on the floor when he made his presence on NXT, but I'm happy to see Zilla finally leave the impossible, and with the fact too, he's been doing this for a while. I mean, he wrestled at Booker T's wrestling promotions. He's wrestled in House of Glory. He's done it all, and I'm very happy to see him in NXT. Plus, it'll be more fun. NXT was already fun before he got along, but it's going to get very interesting, especially in the men's division. I mean, we know the women can handle it down, but I think the men's division needed a little pick-me-up because you have Grayson, you have Cruz Santana, Tony D'Angelo, and now Zilla. All right, you guys, for this triple threat match, who do you think is going to be the number 2 spot? Do you see Nick Wayne? Do you see Speedball? Or do you see MJF? Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. I mean, I would say MJF, but I would like for it to be Speedball. I feel like Speedball has been doing so much lately, but it would not surprise me if it was MJF. But Speedball has been putting in a lot of work. He's been putting in a lot of work. And also Nick Wade, hey, he's been stepping up to the plate the last couple weeks. He's been stepping up to the plate. No mother. Sorry, Eddie Foster. No Mother Wayne this time. We haven't seen Mother Wayne since Nick Wayne came. Oh, Lordy. So he wants to prove he's the undisputed champion. No surprise there. Man, he really... Jeez. MJF really got on Tony Schiavone. What did Tony Schiavone do to you, man? Come on. Oh my goodness. I hate how they when Nick. I know it's kind of crazy how they didn't. And also checking my phone because social media has been a little bit. I see Andrade made a true tweet after what happened last week. Oh boy, well, we will see. We will see Andrade soon. We will see him soon. Jeff Menderling. I know, Jeff Menderling, you are the biggest Speedball fan, and you would love to see Speedball. Ooh, that was a nice move. I will say Nick Wayne has definitely got a lot better. Obviously, of course, he came back from competing in the New Japan Super Juniors tournament. So he's definitely shown a lot of confidence. He's shown that he could really step up to the plate. Jeffrey, we will talk about that during commercial because I got some thoughts. I got some thoughts there regarding what Mercedes Monet posted on socials. But we will talk about that when commercial hits because I do have some thoughts there. Also because another thing I definitely want to touch on, and that'll be later because Denise posts, if you follow Denise on social, she's a friend of WWT. I'm definitely going to address that a little bit later on the show because this is an ongoing situation we see on WWT Live. So Max is really going to fly. I will give him credit with a bandage on his thigh. Well, there's a reason why. For the record, well, Jeffrey, obviously, I know you didn't. Ooh, nice flying dropkick by Speedball. See, Speedball's been very interesting. It just sucks because I would have loved for him to face off against Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship. But I'm pretty sure Speedball's gonna get MJF thinks he can mimic Speedball, but I would not want to mess with a man who knows jujitsu and uses his legs as a weapon. That's the thing about Speedball. You don't want to mess with him. Do not let his looks fool you. Because he will hurt you. But I think some people in the chat said MJF, but feel free. Oh yeah, Jeff Metterling. I think so with Nick Wayne. Because like I said, Nick Wayne's been definitely showing a lot. And with the fact too, next Friday, he will get a shot for the Ring of Honor World Championship match when he faces off against Bandino next Friday in Philadelphia at the historic 2300 Arena. So it looks like Nick Wayne and MJF are double teaming against Speedball, which, I mean, that's kind of, it's like a good thing, but it's also a downfall when it comes to triple threat because it's like every man for himself, and they're just beating up poor Speedball. Oh boy. Don't trust MJF. Just don't trust him. Because MJF thinks he's slick. And I know he has a bandage on his thigh. I mean, I know everybody wants to be number 2 because we know number 1 is Nick Wayne. See, Nick Wayne wants that number 2 spot. See? You should have never made your deal with the devil. Because MJF thinks he's slick. He thinks he's very, very slick. See, that's what MJF gets for running his mouth. A kick to the face. Oh, but it's going to be interesting with this Casino Gauntlet because we now know Andrade is going to be number 1. We're going to know who's number 2. And I'm very curious on who else is going to be in it. It's going to be very interesting. Could we see some wrestlers we haven't seen in the last couple months? Could we see some surprises? Could we? But we shall see. We shall see. I'm very curious because we could see some surprises. I could see them sending some Ring of Honor stars, maybe some CMLL stars, because we have seen a lot of presence from CMLL or maybe New Japan. That would be very interesting. I'm just happy they're not doing a women's casino gauntlet this year at London, because I'm just happy we have two women's matches. Now, if they put three women's matches on the card, I would be on the floor. And I'll be like, what? We come a long way, friends. We've come a long way. I can tell Jeff Metterling he's a fan of Speedball, because I'm picking Speedball Mike Bailey. I feel like Speedball needs the win. Even the fans are going behind Speedball. We just have we're caught in a way. I don't see why not. And then of course MJF, he's doing what he does best because he wants to steal the victory. Of course, he wants it. Ooh, look at Speedball. Ooh, that was a nice move that Speedball did. I love that. This is one of the things that makes him so good in the ring. I would not want to mess with him. Don't let his looks fool you, or his hair, because he will hurt you. And it's hard to believe all this is happening in Vegas. And we still got more action to go. We got Continental Cup matches happening later on in the show. Yeah, I know. We got two. Oh my god. One of them is like a bad blood match. The second one is for the first time ever. You're going to have two people that have been in AEW from the beginning facing off against each other. It's going to be very interesting to see. But I'm watching this on picture in picture because the match is still going on right now. Nick Wayne's looking like he's taking a breather. Paul. I know, right? Oh, nice. Yes, NWA. We're definitely yeah, thanks for that, Boza, because like I said, we will be posting interviews that I have with Giselle Shaw and Tiffany Nieves. We will be posting that up by next week because for me, even though July has ended, I always want to make sure the video is good to go because I always want to take some time to edit. And also my schedule has been all over the place, but my goal is to definitely have it up next week before TNA lockdown because I had some really great interviews with Giselle and Tiffany. They really brought it up, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of work with NWA because I don't think people realize NWA is an historic wrestling promotion. And with the fact too, they have been doing a lot of good work, especially when I went to Philly at 2300. It was great. It was really, really great. I hope they do come back to the East Coast because the shows look fun. And hopefully one day I get to interview Billy Corgan because he's a fan of music because that's my favorite band, the Smashing Pumpkins, but he's a wrestling fanatic. One day I will get to interview Billy Corgan. Ooh, and Camille. Yeah, see, Jeffrey? There you go. Camille. It's like Camille, Nick Aldis. Any wrestlers that we love today wrestled in NWA. Cody, Adam Pearce. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite, live from Sin City in Las Vegas. We have a triple threat match to determine who gets the number 2 spot at AEW All In for the men's casino gauntlet. We have MJF taking on Nick Wayne and Speedball Mike Bailey. This has been a good match so far. I'm definitely enjoying this. So here we go. Ooh, that was a nice moonsault that Speedball did. I'm not gonna lie. Oh. I will say Speedball's been putting a lot of good matches. Make sure to see his match on Collision. Make sure to watch Collision over the weekend because he was in a match against Myron Reed. That match was insane. Him versus Myron Reed was very insane on Collision. And then, of course, MJF wants to. But Nick Wayne, he's holding himself good. And, he's getting ready for his big match against Bandino next week at Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. Looks like it's going to be a good card. It's going to be a really good card. And like I said, I hope I get to do Media Scrum for Ring of Honor because I got to do it the last time they were in Philly and it was so fun. And they got some good matches. And Speedball broke up the pin. I know people think I'm JF, but I want Speedball to win. I would love for Speedball to win. He can really put those kicks in. I'll never forget the kick he put on Ricochet when he was doing commentary. Ooh, that was a good move. Oh, we threw Speedball out. Ooh, we got that submission hold locked in. MJF. Nick Wayne's not doing it, but he's gonna tap out and yippee. The winner is MJF. He's number 2. Andrade's number 1. Well, we'll find out who is in the Casino Gauntlet because I'm gonna be very intrigued. You know what would be really hilarious? It would be so funny if Swerve was in this Casino Gauntlet match and he won. That would be hilarious to me. And he's gonna talk, so let's be quiet. That'd be hilarious. I mean, I don't want to say hilarious, but it wouldn't shock me if he did win. He would cash it in after Osprey and Kenny. And speaking of which, it's Andrade! Here is Andrade! But we do see his entrance. And I know he's taking some time off. He's taking some time off. Of course, he would troll us because he knew he beat up Andrade last week. Only Andrade says that, MJF. How you know? Why did he have to put Kenny? And Kenny's the real champ! Oh, lordy. Why you gotta put... They should be not scared to face... You should be not scared to face them. Oh my god. Miz and MJF. That would be hilarious. Well... He thinks he's the champion, but we know Kenny Omega's the actual champion. And yes, he has that ugly belt that has his so-called Triple B, which I think is really ugly, and I don't want it, but whatever. So, MJF is number 2. 18 days away from All in London. I can't believe it. 18 days away from All in. All in. We were just talking about this last year, and here we are. Oh, so we have the Divine Dominions. Why are they in the Brawling Birds? Hub. Well, I know the Divine Dominion beat up on my Brawling Birds over the weekend. Ooh, see, why do they have to put in Will Ospreay? Jeez, broke their pints of beer. They just broke their pints of beer. Well, Saturday they will be in action. And I know last week they dismantled my gals, the Brawling Birds. And I will say, we have two women's matches on the main card. Finally, we have two women's matches. I hope if we get to number 3, I'm gonna fall to the floor a bit because it's a long time coming. Now we're gonna start off with a Continental Challenge Cup in the first round. But before we do that, Mick Foley's backstage where he's interviewing Jay White, Ace Austin, the Bang Bang Gangs, Juice Robinson, and the Guns. Mick Foley. Guns up. Yep, they mean business. Mick Foley. Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna kick that off next. Not Jack Perry. Jay White taking on David Finlay. Jungle Jack Perry will be taking on John Moxley a little bit later on the program. And I'm just seeing the comments because I was too focused on the Brawling Birds. Jeffrey, I can't knock him because the Divine Dominion are gorgeous ladies. They're strong, they're ubiquitous, but you're messing with my Brawling Birds. You don't mess with my Brawling Birds. And with the fact of that, Jamie Hayter is a former AEW Women's Champion. And with the fact she gave a wicked clothesline to Megan Bay last week, I was like, I need to see those ladies have a one-on-one match, Megan Bayne and Jamie Hayter, because I know Megan Bayne. I've seen her wrestle in the indies. She's no joke, but don't mess with Jamie Hayter. I'm just saying, because she will beat the absolute snot out of you. But we are on commercial and everything else. So you're hanging with me, your PR princess, your timeless elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this Wednesday edition of Timeless Elite Wednesdays. And oh, I didn't even change the banner. Here we go. They were last week, but you're hanging out with me because I changed the banner, as you see. But we do have a lot of action. We are kicking off the Continental Challenge Cup because we have David Finlay, Jay White. Later on, we're going to have Jungle Jack Perry take on John Moxley. Obviously, of course, some of the matches that we have for Saturday on Collision, we're going to have Kyle O'Reilly take on Roderick Strong. And we're also going to have Nigel McGuinness take on Katsuyori Shibata. I know it's a little early for bold predictions, but feel free on who you guys got winning the Continental Challenge Cup. I think I said on WWT Live, I picked Nigel McGuinness Because why not? Why not with Nigel? And plus, with the fact, too, it's funny because almost every single person that's competing in this has a beef with John Moxley and the Death Riders, which I find really funny about that. Everybody has a beef. Yeah, it would be funny. And also with the fact, too, Nigel McGuinness will be facing off against Lee Moriarty next Friday and Ring of Honor Final Battle for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship next week. This is it for Nigel because if he loses, he can't be at Ring of Honor ever again, which really sucks. But we shall see. It would be funny if Nigel won both. I wouldn't be complaining about it. I wouldn't be mad about it, but you're welcome. Here we go. We got the Continental Challenge Cup. We got the first round. Jay White's coming out. David Finlay. These guys know each other so well. There's so much bad blood. Hang it up. Jeffrey, be nice. Nigel's not going to hang it up. He looks pretty good in the ring. He looks pretty good in the ring. Leave him be. And also, Bosa, going to your point, I think I might have said this. I won't be able to fly to London for All In Wembley, but you will be getting a watch along from me when it comes to All In Wembley Stadium. And there's the wonderful Miss Renee Paquette, who looks lovely in red as she's doing her sideline reporting. I love it when she does her sideline reporting on like any matches that are on Dynamite. It's just so fun to watch. Jay. And but yeah, you will be getting a watch along from me for All In London, All In Wembley Stadium. You get to hang with me because I will be doing a stream. I'm just waiting to hear back from media credentials for Ring of Honor next Friday because it would be fun because it's in my neck of the woods, and plus the media scrums are fun for Ring of Honor. It's very small, nothing too crazy. Very excited for that. Here comes David Finlay, and in the words of the Baja Man, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? And also, I forgot to mention this because today, because I didn't get to share on WWT Live. Today actually marks 2 years since I've been on Women's Wrestling Talk, which is insanity. And time flies when you're having so much fun. And this has been really fun. 2 years being on this wonderful ride for WWT. Obviously, of course, doing this watch along because I've been doing this for 2 years. But I do want to thank everybody for being with me. I've had many, many, many moments on WWT. It has been really crazy, but I do want to thank all of you. All of you. All of you for being on here. I know we didn't do WWT Live today. I won't be on WWT Live on Friday, but hopefully next week we will. Next week we will. But, today has been 2 years, which is crazy. It's crazy. But I've had many moments. I've had many, many moments. But I'm just continuing the ride that we're going on, promoting women's wrestling, sharing with all of you, and everything else. Because, it's very saturated in the wrestling space, but there are some good people doing good wrestling content. So, there are some good people. But here we go. We have Jay White taking on David Finlay in the Continental Cup Challenge. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got advancing. Do you have Jay White or do you have David Finlay? So they're showing some of the matches for this Saturday. Hedges Sarah is going to go one-on-one with Brian Cage. As I mentioned, Kyle O'Reilly's taking on Roderick Strong. And Nigel McGuinness is going out of the announcer's desk. He will be facing off against Katsuyori Shibata. I'm sorry, I still have Nigel. I still have Nigel winning this. I don't care what anybody says. I'm picking Nigel. But it would be funny if Nigel did win both belts. That would be hilarious. So I think a lot of people are picking Jay White. They're picking Jay White to win this against, as I mentioned, the Babaha men who let the dogs out. But thank you all for doing that. It's been fun. And like I said, doing these watch-alongs with AEW, because like I said, Not everybody's cup of tea is AEW. Yes, they have some stuff that gotta work. Yes, I gotta fix everything. But there are some good stuff with AEW. There is some good stuff. Hopefully, we can try to get some interviews in later in the year, especially with the women's division, because they are killing it. And hopefully, we should get some soon, especially leading up to All In Wembley Stadium. So, doing the best that we can. Obviously, of course, outside of AEW, handling not every promotion is perfect, but there's gonna be flaws. There's gonna be stuff here and there, but they're learning. They are learning. AEW is learning. They are 7 years old. They are learning. They are striving. They're trying to be in their own lane. They're doing the best that they can. But that's the beauty part about wrestling. Obviously, of course, but I wouldn't change it. I would not change it any other way. But I know people are very iffy because it's like, oh, I don't want to watch AEW and all that stuff. Ooh, that was a nasty suplex that Jay White gives David Finlay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and also with the fact too, I noticed even with WWE with all the stuff that they're doing, just be careful because I always say it's for everybody. Wrestling is for everybody, but don't be grifting off of AEW just because what's going on with WWE. Don't do that. I welcome anybody that's in the space for AEW, but don't be grifting off of them just because of the stuff what's happening with WWE. That's the one thing I can't stand, and especially because and especially if you're starting to watch AEW, just pick a wrestler that you like. Pick a wrestler that you like and that you follow, and just kind of go from there. That's how it did for me. I would have not gotten into AEW if it wasn't for Tony Storm. And of course, my other favorite people on there. I mean, there's Tony, there's Orange Cassidy, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and also some honorable mentions too, because Willow Nightingale, Swerve, and pretty much all the ladies in the division, like Deanna Perrazzo, Julia Hart, Chris Statlander. But this is a picture. But the match is still going on. You can tell this match. This match is definitely a lot of bad blood because David Finlay and Jay White know each other so well. They know each other so well. But I'm so excited that Dynamite has 2 women's matches on the card, which is insanity. Thank goodness you did say. Well, Jeffrey, I have to because he's in action later tonight against Chris Jericho. Darby Allin threw out the challenge to him on Collision over the weekend for the TNT title at All In. Have not gotten the answer, but unfortunately, but Jeffrey, you are going to see him later against Chris Jericho. And I'm pretty sure you're going to go for Chris Jericho, but I love Jericho with all my heart, but Jericho does not need to be TNT champion. He just can't. He's got other important things to worry about. With the fact he has a cruise that's supposed to be coming out later this year. Obviously, if you guys know, I can't say Xavier Woods anymore. Austin Creed and Kofi will be on Jericho's cruise line. He announced more people that'll be on his cruise. Them two, along with Harley Cameron. Obviously, he's going to have the Hardys on there. But it's shaping up to be a really good cruise. I mean, it's a lot of money for that cruise. Maybe WWT, you'll be on that cruise doing a podcast one of these days. Because I always hear interesting stories about Jericho's cruises. And yeah, it's some interesting stories I can't say on here live. But we shall see. But it'll be in November. It'll be in November later on this year that they're going to be on the cruise. So, good for them. So, can't say some of the stuff on here live about the cruise, but I've heard some interesting stories about the cruise. So, yeah, this match is still going on. You could tell there's a lot of bad blood between Jay White and David Finlay because this will go to the wire. Yeah, that's why I said Yeah, but it would be interesting. I mean, I may have to talk with Boss Lady about that doing next year. Next year. Because it is a lot of money and yeah. But it should prove to be a good cruise. I'm really excited on that. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite for the Continental Cup first round matches. One of the matches that we have is David Finlay taking on Jay White. These guys, it's just bitter rivalry in itself. If you follow New Japan and their history, you kind of know what it is. Shout out to Roland Bird in the chat. You're just in time for a great match. We heard from Will Ospreay earlier in the show, and unfortunately, we had to deal with that annoying bald-headed peanut jerk Don Callis, where he got ambushed by the Don Callis family, but got unexpected support from Kenny Omega, and it got very interesting between the two of them. Also, we now know MJF has secured the number 2 spot in the men's casino gauntlet match at All In Wembley Stadium, defeating Speedball Mike Bailey and Nick Wayne. So now we have Continental Challenge Cup action happening. Obviously, I mentioned Jay White and David Finlay. Later on in the show, we're going to have, for the first time ever, Jungle Jack Perry take on John Moxley. So that's going to be very interesting. I feel like this match is probably going to go down to the wire because these guys don't like each other. They really, really don't. And yes, see, Jeffrey, you could have made it on your birthday to cruise. You could have made that for your birthday, cruising on Jericho's ship. Because who knows? Who knows? He may have some of your favorite ladies on there. He may have Maya World on there. Maybe Persephone. Maybe some of your favorite ladies. Maybe Willow could be on there. You should make plans to go on Jericho's cruise. I'm just looking at the chat because awkward. See, you know what? I'm just telling you, you can go on that cruise. You can meet any female that you want. Because I'm pretty sure he's gonna have more announcements. So Jeff Merlin saying last time for the first time in a while I was Cass, she has been handling NXT. This was actually her second week. She did a watch along. And I could tell you, I peek in once in a while. But I know she fell to the floor when Zilla Fatu made his return. Obviously, of course, we're happy that we're getting more coverage on NXT because they are killing it. They are doing amazing work, and I'm happy to see that. Kalani Jordan finally shooting her shot for the NXT Women's Championship, which a lot of people on our panel have been asking for quite some time. So I'm really happy to see that. But NXT, obviously, of course, the women held it down, but happy to see the men division stepping up to the plate a little bit. I bet you this is going to go down to the finish because this is supposed to be an hour. I don't think it's going to go down to being an hour, but someone has to get a victory. I don't think this could last for an hour, especially with the fact that we have a 2-hour show, and I know we have overrun happening, but I think they don't want to do it tonight only because I think this is a double taping. I believe this is a double taping that they're having tonight in Vegas. But I do love the venue, though. I love the unique venue that they have for Vegas. It's even the last couple weeks, they've been at some unique venue spots, which are very small to medium size. And I actually do love it. I know last week when they were not in Colorado Springs, but when they were in Detroit 2 weeks ago, Dynamite was close to being sold out, which was insane. I know there was a few Dynamites that they were sold out from, but 2 of their pay-per-views this year have been sold out. But sold out is sold out. quick kick out. This match is long. I know that's what I'm saying, Jeffrey. I'm like, I don't think they can do too much of an overrun tonight because I think tonight's a double taping of Dynamite and Collision. So I don't think they want to do too much on overrun. Oh man, I thought David Finlay was gonna win. That's what happens when you know someone so well. This match is gonna go long. It's the match that never ends. I crack myself up so much. It's the match that never ends. Man, I crack myself up. I know. He just loves tournaments. Like, great, we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you something. If there's another tournament, Bossman's gonna be like, great, we'll do another tournament. I mean, oh my god, Animaniacs. Animani, totally insane. Ring a dinging. Animaniacs. All right, here we go. The match is finally over, and your winner is Jay White. Yeah, we're gonna hear from the new trios champions. All right, so we have commercials. So we're gonna hear from the trios. So Jay White is advancing. So we're gonna take a little quick break before we hear from the new trios champions. I know everybody wasn't too fond of that decision from last week in Arena, Mexico, but we're gonna show a little support because we have a new initiative happening for WWT. It is the Women's Wrestling Archive, and we're gonna showcase the past, present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything from the Women's Wrestling Archive. $1, $2, $3, $4, everything else. And yes, it's time to refill your snacks, your beverages, because we're on commercial. Oh, let me turn on my TV a bit because it's a little loud. Give me 1 second. I did see advertising for SmackDown when they come to Boston, which is very interesting because I don't know if it's going to be live or if it's going to be a taped one or if it's just a live event they're not going to show on TV. So it's going to be pretty interesting on that because I know I have seen them advertise. Okay, I had to send the important message, but here come the trios champs. Boy. Oh yes, no, he's not injured. He's doing Twisted Metal right now, so he should be back soon. Samoa Joe, he should be back. But they're showing what happened last week at Arena Mexico. A lot of people were not really happy that the Demand lost. I thought the Demand would at least make it a little bit further, but Hangman and Brodino are the new trios champs. So we have Bandino, 2 belts. 2 belts. Bandino, 2 belts for now. For now. I'll just enjoy Bandino 2 belts. Whoever dresses Bandino needs a raise because I do like this outfit that he has on. I do like this outfit. How many championships Bandino's gonna get? I don't know about that. I think 2 is a good start. And I think this is Brody's second time as Trios champion, by the way. This is his second reign. And I know for Hangman, this is his second reign as Trios champ. Oh, he does speak Spanish. Uh-oh. Do my eyes deceive me? Do my eyes deceive me? Nana? What's Swerve doing here? Nana and Swerve? I thought Swerve would go for the world title, but it's very interesting seeing Swerve here. Confronting his old rival Hangman. Wow. Swerve returning. I wonder what brings him here. Why is Swerve always... he's like that little mosquito at Dark Knight that doesn't go away. He just doesn't go away. I don't know. I don't know. Very curious. I thought Swerve would go after Osprey, but let's see what he has to say regarding trios. Grabbing the mic from Tony Schiavone. Man, he had to kick Tony Schiavone. Why has everybody got to kick Tony Schiavone out, man? even when he's healed, they'll still cheer for him. But let's hear what Swerve has to say. Bandito's 2 belts, by the way. You guys say Bandito 2 belts. Jeez. And last but not least, Yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, Jeffrey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's a nice solid comparison. You ain't wrong about that. It's like they need each other. Jeez. Oh lordy, now we got the demand. Jeffrey. Oh lordy, we have the demand and the swirl. Oh boy, because it looks like there's some kind of alliance between both of them. What is Jay Lethal wearing? Why is he dressed up like Ricochet? No, Jeffrey. Unfortunately, he's gonna be talking on the microphone. Why are you gonna call them morons? Oh lordy, why do you have to make a reference to the NFL? Did he really say get the step in? Who does Ricochet think he is? Last time I checked, a lot of the people in the back don't like you, Ricochet. I know it's copyright infringement, Jeffrey. What are you gonna do? You think Swerve is gonna listen to him? He's lucky Nana doesn't have a pipe in his hand. Swerve, because The look on Swerve's face, he has something sneaky. See, if I was Nana, I would have a pipe in my hands. You know how many times I see Nana have a pipe in his hand? That's a bird right there. That was a bird. See, Swerve would always be doing some birds. That's the first time Swerve and Hangman actually agreed on something. Oh boy. Look, there's like 6 of them and 3 of them. And I know the conglomeration, they got some business they gotta take care of. Jeez. Well, it looks like we may be getting a trios match at All In Wembley Stadium, which I don't have a problem because I actually do like that their trios division stepping up to the plate. Stop it, Jeffrey. She picked him. Actually, they picked each other. Okay, so they're showing what happened earlier today that Mercedes posted that she attacked Willow Nightingale backstage, and Willow was not really happy because she posted it on Twitter. Oh, and she did a sit down with Renee, so this happened earlier today. And look at that, she just she could have came in. You know what it is? She could have at least hit her with something else instead of the belt. She did the same thing that Mariah May did to Mina Shivakana. She could have brought a more lethal weapon into this. I mean, come on, she can be very ruthless and dangerous when she comes out. Like, come on now. I mean, I'm just saying she could be a little bit more ruthless and dangerous. I mean, reminds me Sasha Banks. All right, so we have a TNT Championship match happening right now. We have Chris Jericho taking on the Jet and Jeffrey's favorite person, Kevin Knight. I just had to throw it in there. But we got a sing along happening because of Judas. That's first things first. We have a sing along happening with Judas. I'm still gonna call him Chris Jericho. And we'll drag you down and sell you out. Right by the darkness and into the light. Oh no! Well, I'm just saying. Jeffrey, you know I'm joking. You know I'm joking. I know don't have you don't have great feelings about Kevin Knight. I was joking. The show what happened last week between Mystico, Darby Allin, and the Lionheart, Chris Jericho, after that historic trios victory last week. And Judas in my mind. I mean, come on now. You know, secretly, if you wasn't with Don Callis, I would have. I know. Look, I don't care. Look, I know a lot of people always say some stuff about Chris Jericho, but for him to be 50 and wrestling like that, and have a body look like that, and still work out, and he's been with his wife for 20 years, his kids are probably close to being adults, you can't say nothing. I don't know if I'd be crying, Boza, but obviously he's of course with Kevin Knight, but here we go. We have the reigning TNT champion, the face of TNT, Kevin Knight. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Darby Allin's going to be watching this because, as I mentioned on Collision, Darby Allin put out the challenge to Kevin Knight at All In for the TNT Championship in a hardcore match. So I'm pretty sure we'll see Mr. Darby Allin lurking around somewhere. That's dope. It's awesome. We're seeing Ray's daughter. We're seeing some of these next generation people step up to the plate. Obviously, we talked about the situation with AJ's son, which we did talk about and we did address for it. I'm pretty sure my siblings over at the Kayfabe podcast will be talking about this tomorrow, along with Zilla Fatu. Jeez. Kevin, it's funny, since he's been with that bald-headed creep, Don Callis, Kevin Knight has been a little bit flamboyant, which I guess he needed to help with that a little bit. But here we go. We have the TNT Championship. We have the Jet Kevin Knight taking on Chris Jericho. Obviously, of course, we have that bald, peanut-headed jerk Don Callis in the corner. So feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this. Could we see a new TNT champion, or do you think Kevin Knight's going to retain? So feel free to put in the chat. Like I said, we have that bald, peanut-headed jerk, Don Callis. Jericho wins, but we don't. I kind of knew that, especially because I'm only picking Kevin, only because Darby Allin wants his revenge on him. I mean, if it was any other time, I would pick Chris. But I will say this, for a person that's close to 50, wrestling in sparkly pants, doing moves in 50 and still have a bod, I can't knock Chris Jericho. Actually, there are two things I'm mad at him for, and it's on his podcast. Number one, he had Vince Russo on there, which I don't even know why. And number two, he had that deadbeat loser Kevin Federline on his podcast. I wasn't too fond of that. Ooh, that was a nice hurricanrana. That was a nice hurricanrana. See, that man is close to being 50, and he's still doing moves like this. Like Courtney said, that should be Speedball's title. Darby doesn't need it. Remember when Dean destroyed? Oh lordy, yeah, that jacket. Oh, look at this! Look at this, Jericho. I still call him Big Show, but Paul Wright. That's a family. That's a family photo right there. Shout out to All Unlimited Production One. Thank you for joining in the chat. Yes, we do. Jeffrey, we wrap up the first round on Collision. But as I said, we have one more match. We got one more match to go, and that is Jungle Jack Perry and Jon Moxley happening tonight. I would think that would be the main event. So this match is in picture. What does Don Callis do? Well, it's a shame Paul Wright. I mean, he can wrestle. He can throw a punch, but I know he would love to throw a punch at that bald-headed creep Don Callis. With the fact that is Chris Jericho's friend. I know Aubrey does have some nice looks. She has makeup's always good, and her hair. They have a nice glam spot, by the way. Oh lordy, stinky shoe. Well, I don't even know. I mean, I would think it would be Jack Perry taking on John Moxley in the main event. That's what I would be thinking because I would be shocked. I would be very shocked if they had the ladies' main event. I would be falling to the floor. But we are on picture in picture. Well, at least some of the stars in TNA are doing some media work. I just saw because I saw that Mustafa Ali was in his home state of Illinois. I think I know. I don't think. I think with Don Callis, I don't think he would last long with Paul White, because I don't think Don would last that long, especially with Paul White and his friendship with Chris Jericho. I don't think he would last that long, and it's a good thing. Oh, see, I just wish Paul White would just get up out of his seat and just punch Don Callis. I know he's been wanting to do it for quite some time. He was almost that close to punch Ciampa in the face. But that would have been funny for me if he did punch Don Callis. I would have loved it. I also did love the fact, too, that Leo Rush did scare Don Callis. Because I crack up anytime I see that clip. Because I never see Don Callis run that fast in my life. So I wish Leo Rush was somewhere lurking. But I know he's doing work on Ring of Honor. But we're back live to AEW Dynamite. We have the TNT Championship match happening. We have Kevin Knight, the Jet, taking on Chris Jericho. And of course, we have that peanut, bald-headed creep Don Callis at ringside. I just wish Paul White would just punch him in the face. Because I know he doesn't like anybody messing with his friend, Chris Jericho. And I like Chris too, but I just can't see him winning. I just really can't. And you know what's crazy? Sunday marked his anniversary when he came into the WWE. And even to this day, they still talk about his debut. There's a reason why he's still influential, friends. Chris Jericho is still influential. Well, that's the reason why Kevin Knight's called the Jet, of doing moves like that. Yes, they were. They were called Jericho. That was an interesting tag team. But I would love to see Big Show just punch Don Callis in the face. So they're going through the card. I'm pretty sure they're going to go through the card for Collision all night. We already know for the Continental Cup, we do have a few more matches. We have Divine Dominion. We have Zeta Steel take on Mercedes Moné on Collision. We're also going to have some trios action. We have the Lethal Twist taking on the reigning AEW Trios champions, Brodino and Hangman Adam Page, in an AEW World Trios Championship match. Get him, Chris! Get him! Because I know Chris Jericho really was. Chris is stalking him. Chris is stalking him. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Don? Why are you going to call him lackeys, Boza? Get him, Chris. I know, right? He was this close to getting Don Callis. I guess this is just, I think for Kevin Knight, this is just a build up, at least defenses for him, since he's TNT champion. So it's just at least a repertoire, and he is the future of, he's the future of TNT. They are his lackeys. Well, that is true. 2, quick kick out by Kevin Knight. But I think for Kevin Knight, it's just building a lot of repertoire for him when it comes to defending the TNT title. At least he has credible. Oh, Aubrey saw you put your feet on the ropes, sir. Don't mess with Aubrey. I'm just saying, don't mess with her. Do not mess with her. Oh, Chris was gonna do it. Chris did the same playbook, but kicked out by 2. It's funny. Jericho was taking a playbook out of his, but that would have been hilarious if Chris won it with his feet on the ropes. That would be pretty funny to me. Why are they showing that bald-headed peanut creep? Nobody wants to see him. This is actually a good solid match between these two. I mean, I know people are saying, oh, this is the worst match on Dynamite and all that stuff. This is actually a good solid match, and it gives Kevin Knight some credibility. I mean, you're facing off against the first ever AEW World Champion. But this is pretty much a good solid match. Ooh, that was a nice powerbomb that he did. Quick kick out. Oh, he's gonna go for the walls of Jericho. He's going for the walls of Jericho. Is he gonna lock it in? Is he gonna lock it in? And he did. Tap, 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 tap. Look at Jericho. He's playing. What did do? What is Don Callis doing? He really no. He got that screwdriver. Oh my god. He's gonna pay for that too. He's gonna pay for it. See, Big Show should have got out and punched him. But I know he can't because that's not his repertoire. He's a commentator. Damn you, screwdriver! Ooh, kick out by Jericho. And he did it without the screwdriver. Yes, salute to him, Jeff Metterling. Jericho's had some pretty good solid matches in AEW. And he's having a cruise later this year in November. So if you have the money to do it, just go on the cruise. Because cruises are very interesting, as I mentioned earlier in the show. It's interesting. Ooh, nice block by Jericho. Big Show, even Tony Schiavone said, cover him. He's like, cover him. Shout out to Honey in the chat. I'm happy that you're on for AEW Dynamite, coming to you from Sin City in Las Vegas. Jericho. Ooh, oh, thank God he didn't hit Aubrey. Ew, we gave him a low blow. Well, I understand. Jeez. Well, you're a winner and still TNT champion. I know he was very screwed, but your winner and still TNT champion is Kevin Knight. I'm pretty sure we'll have an appearance by Darby. I know, right? Jericho in full effect. You missed the photo that they had. It should have been a nice photo, and they were together, and I loved it. Oh, so up next we're having Jack Perry and Jon Moxley. So it looks like we're gonna have the ladies main event. Okay, so we're backstage with Claudio and with the Death Riders. So John is getting ready with his second in command, Marina Shafir, because Claudio advanced already. Pac does look he does look very ruthless, Pac. Well, Mox is ready. He is ready. Jeffrey. Well, as Jeffrey calls him, life coach Mox. That's what he is, like a life coach. Talking about the meaningful things of life. So it looks like this match is next. So, hold on. Okay, so up next is going to be Chris Statlander and Viva Van. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I was going to say, because if the ladies are closing out the show, I'm not complaining. I'm kind of happy. Because I really thought Jack Perry and Mox was next. Because they didn't announce the main event. And I would have thought it would have been Mox versus Jack Perry. But yeah, up next is Chris Statlander taking on Viva Van. It's hard to believe we have 2 matches on Dynamite. 2 matches. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, if it did main event, something has to happen. Because that's what I thought too. Because I was like, it has to be Mox and Jack Perry main eventing. But hey, I'm not a fan. I mean, I ain't complaining about it. It is Chris Stat Daddy. It is. I mean, come on, it's Chris Statlander. But we call it, but it's Stat Daddy. But she is the cosmic killer of the Galacticum galaxy. Oh man. Yes. I'm sure people in the Kayfabe podcast will be talking about Zilla tomorrow. Because, like I said, it's been going viral for the last 24 hours, which it doesn't surprise me. And I love that because it has been blowing up lately. It's kind of crazy because it was kind of crazy, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure my siblings over at the Kayfabe podcast will be talking about that tomorrow. But yeah, it's been blowing up for 24 hours. Obviously, his mom was on to the floor when she saw her son on NXT. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking more about Zilla Fatu, and I think the NXT men's division has been getting a little bit of a kickstart because Grayson Waller, he did that interesting promo on NXT. And then, of course, we have, I can't even call him Mike Santana. He's Cruz Santana. Tony D'Angelo. Yeah, I think it's going to be you have Evil. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, we know the ladies of NXT can hold it down completely. Just the men just need to pick it up and have to figure out because Ethan left, Trick left, Ricky left, Javon left. So you have to figure out some of those holds. So we got some women's action happening. So we have Viva Van taking on Chris Statlander. She does look fit, and she's a woman I would not want to mess with. I'm being very serious. She's a woman I would not want to mess with. Yes, Viva Van. She's no stranger to AEW. She's competed on here. She's competed on Ring of Honor. She's been doing her thing. So I think this is going to be a really good match between both of these ladies. And also, Bosa, to answer your question, yes, I will be doing coverage of TNA Impact tomorrow. Obviously, of course, there's a lot of stuff happening leading up to lockdown. Hopefully, we will get more matches added to the fray. I'm looking forward to seeing the Moose's Court because I really want to see that. I think that'll be hilarious tomorrow, so we can all get a good laugh at it because I want to see it. We're also going to have Nick Nemeth taking on Jeff Hardy for the TNA World title. We're also going to continue the Knockouts TV tournament. Indy Hartwell and M by Elegance. And we're also going to have Ricky Sosa in action. He'll be taking on. Hold up, I have to see because I know he's taking on a member of the system. I just don't know which one. Because last week it was Brian Myers. I want to say Eddie Edwards he's taking on. I'm going to look that up right now so I won't forget because I know TNA posted matches already. Yep. Vicky Sosa is taking on Brian Myers. He's taking on Brian Myers tomorrow. Yeah, I just had to make sure because I was like, I know he's taking on someone from the system. But yeah, you're hanging out with me tomorrow for TNA. So once my siblings at kayfabe are done, you can hang out with me to do TNA. So we're continuing to do coverage for that because it's been a really fun tournament. So Jeff Betterling, Viva Van is a women's wrestler. She's been with AEW for quite some time. She's made some presence in Ring of Honor space. And she is a woman I would not want to mess with because she has been making her name for herself in the independent scene. So if this is your first time seeing her, you are in for a treat. And yes, agree, Jeffrey. She's very underrated. Yes, she is well known in the indies. But she's been putting a good work in Ring of Honor. She has definitely been putting a lot of work. See, there you go. See, Jeffrey knows a lot about Viva Van. But I know you like Viva Van, but we know that you're itching. We know you're looking forward to that women's tag match because you like Persephone. We know that you're looking forward to Persephone and Maya Worlds on opposite sides. Chris Statlander's no joke. I mean, if I was in that booking and creative space, I would make her like the cosmic killer of the Galacticum Galaxy because I would definitely use it as like a sci-fi or space theme. And your winner is Chris Statlander. It was. I mean, I'm so happy to see Chris Statlander. I'm just happy to see Stat on TV. Like, if I was in that creative or booking, I would probably book her as like the cosmic killer of the Galacticum Galaxy. And just like, because I know when she first started. Oh, look at that! There's Mick Foley. There's Mick Foley. So Mick Foley's going to talk to Chris Statlander. So shh, let's hear what Mick has to say. They just love Mick Foley. He's getting a new shirt. Oh, that's Noelle. I'm so happy she's there. There she is. So it's next week. So we have a match already in Baltimore. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a good. Why couldn't you put this on All In? Why? That would have been so good to put it on All In. I mean, it would be a good match next week, but come on. Unless there's something's gonna happen. I was ready for 3 women's matches at All In this year. I would have been dropped to the floor. Well, she had some interesting words to say to Sheeta. Well, that is true because she did beat Jade when she came back from injury. I was very upset they didn't position her or help her elevate for the TBS title. But here is Persephone. There she is. I'm not gonna lie, I do like Persephone as a heel. It's really bringing out true character. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. And I see Sheeta updated her Titantron. I mean, I'm happy there's a fatal four-way match next week, but you couldn't save that for All In. I mean, that would have been a really good match. Yeah, Boza. That's why I had to bring it up because I know people who are part of the Mercedes fan club say, "Well, if Chris Statler didn't win," I had to bring it up because you didn't even give her nothing to help elevate that title, which I was very upset. And here is Thunder Rosa. Thunder. I know, it's kind of crazy. All Unlimited Production once said Maya World's theme's got a bit of a 90s sitcom vibe to it. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. But there is the TBS champion, Maya World, and Thunder Rosa is the national women's champion at CMLL. And also, I gotta give a shout out to Thunder Rosa because she's a friend of WWT, and also with the fact too, she's very talented outside the ring because she sang the national anthem yesterday in the San Diego Padres game, and I was so happy to see that. So Thunder Rosa has a good voice, by the way, folks. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good transition. Chris Statlander helping Mick Foley. It was a nice transition, Isla. Oh yeah, Maya World and Hyon definitely have a good future. And it's crazy how they came in and had 3-minute matches with a whole situation between Nixon Noel, formerly known as Tegan Knox, and now look at both of them now. It's just so nice to see the transition. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning. Do you have Persephone and Hikaru Shida, or do you have Maya World and Thunder Rosa in this tag team match? Yep, they were in the right spot at the right time. So now we know the main event is going to be Jon Moxley taking on Jack Perry, which actually would make a lot of sense because it's the first time ever they're going to face each other one-on-one. Because I kind of almost dropped to the floor because when I saw that, I was like, are the ladies main eventing? Well, I will say, because it's nice that we have 2 ladies matches on the card tonight. I'm gonna keep saying it. They need to put more than one women's match on Dynamite. That's all I have to say. I mean, yeah, you can put many women's matches on Collision, but put more women's matches on your main flagship show. I know it's only 2.5, so it's like 2 hours, but give them to do more. Give them to do segments. Segments, promos, whatever. I have which obviously Jeffrey's picking whoever wins. Ooh, that was a nice close on by Thunder Rosa. Yes, next week they are in Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. We only had one. Well, we had Chris Statlander and Viva Van. That was not a squash match. We only had 2. We've only had 2. But like I said, we need to have more than one women's match. And I said this. I think secretly, I think the women can outshine the men on AEW. It's just, I don't know why anybody's not pulling the trigger. Because I feel like they could outshine the men's division, if I'm being honest. And then we got to see an appearance by the Divine Dominion, where they entered in the Brawling Birds hidey ho. And then, of course, when Willow Nightingale was sitting down with Renee, Mercedes attacked her. And I think this is where Willow's going to get a little bit more aggressive. She has to be very greedy. She has to get very aggressive. She has to get her hands very dirty. And also with the fact, too, this is her first title defense. Because I don't see her defending the title anytime soon. This is her first title defense at All In Wembley Stadium. I just don't want it a repeat of what happened when she was TBS champion at Double or Nothing. I just don't want her to be a transitional champion. But we are in picture, but the match is still going live. And we do see Persephone and Hikaru Shida trying to get the upper hand on Thunder Rosa. But as I mentioned, I want to thank you guys for being on with me. And since we're on women's matches, if you've been following our other friend of the show, Denise, because she posted on Twitter that apparently there's been some situation that she's been dealing with since being in the space recently, the last couple months in the land of professional wrestling media. Denise tweeted this out earlier today, where she's probably seen a lot of behind the scenes. She does not go into detail on that, but she did mention that she very rarely ever talks about bad stuff because she tries to be very upbeat and try to show the good side of wrestling. But she kind of tweeted this out earlier today saying, I never, ever hardly talk about all the bad stuff or negative stuff I deal with online. I decided not to pay attention to any of it because I truly have a great life. I have also learned I have more to lose if I ever respond to anybody. I have big dreams and I don't want to risk any of that. However, the reason I'm tweeting this is that it's really bad out there for females, especially in a male-dominated field like bad. There are really bad people out there that get a kick out of the things they do and say. They also have people that support them in their actions. The one thing I want everyone to know is that I'm very mentally strong. I have been in this game now for years, and I keep on thriving because I work hard. I keep my head down and let karma handle the rest. I will continue to carry myself with grace, kindness, and professionalism. And I don't blame her for that because I could say this from a PR perspective because I've been in this game for pretty much long. And with the fact, too, that I'm starting getting into the space, not just with women's wrestling talk, but also wrestling commentary, it does not surprise me at all. Because granted, wrestling and even PR is male dominated. And I have seen some stuff happen, especially people that I've called matches for, especially the women, how they are not treated respectfully, that there are some people that do say derogatory and misogynist stuff, especially when it comes to women in the game. And I think that's something that we're still addressing on Women's Wrestling Talk because I just think some men don't like to see successful women. And it also makes me sad too because I could see why a lot of women, and even men too, disclose some of the relationship status because of stuff like this, because people don't have respectable boundaries. And I think it's also very important, especially for us, since we focus a lot on women's wrestling, to make sure every woman has a safe space and they can go to us when needed. And even though it is male dominated, that's one of the lessons I learned in PR is keep going. Granted, you're going to have people that want to make a pass on you. You want to have people say misogynist and sexist slurs, but it's pretty much keeping it going and leaving it better than I found it. I do think it's really important, and that's something we need to continue. And granted, we do have some bad apples. I've even said this on social. I just think it's really important, and that's why I always preach, especially for women who are not getting as much mainstream attention or even interviews. That's why I even tell Boss Lady we gotta push to do this, this, and this. But yeah, Denise had to post that, and I kept thinking about that. But that's something we need to do better on, and that's something that I get to do is lead by example, because I can't stand it when not just men, but shockingly enough, there is some women that do this. I just think they're very talented, and even with that, so that's just my 2 cents from your PR princess, because I've seen it firsthand, especially in my field, and I just keep going. And also, the dream is still alive, because next year I will be at Wembley. I will be at All in Wembley Stadium, because it's gonna happen. It may not happen this year, but if they come back next year, we're gonna do it. So we are back live with AEW Dynamite. We have a women's tag team match. We have Maya World and Thunder Rosa taking on Persephone and Hikaru Shida. So tag is made to Thunder Rosa. I'm just happy to see Thunder Rosa back on TV. That's all I have to say. I know she's been doing a lot of work for CMLL, but I'm just happy to see Thunder back on TV. Yes, I know Denise did some stuff in like NXT. She has done some stuff in a little while. Oh, absolutely. Like Mimi, I have followed, and it does seem like they know their stuff. And also, Denise has been doing this for years, so like, I know Denise has been doing this for so many years. And the one thing about her is like she interviewed almost everybody. Like she interviewed Sting, she interviewed everybody else. Wheezy Blonde, I have followed, and she does know her stuff. It's just I do have mixed feelings when it comes to AEW, because like she does seem a little, I don't want to say petty, but it's like when I do see her do watch along for AEW, it's kind of like, okay. But I do respect what they do. It's just sometimes it can be a little bit weird. But I guess because I have to meet them in person. I never met them in person, but so, but yeah, Wheezy's definitely doing some stuff too. I would say this is a really good tag team match. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. At least I give him time. Ooh, miscommunication between Persephone and Hikaru Shida. Oh, that's a nice pin. 3, yeah. Maya World picked up the win, and with the fact too, she pinned a former AEW Women's Champion. I'm just saying, she pinned a former. I'm just saying, Maya World pinned a former AEW Women's Champion. But next week, we're going to have a Fatal 4-Way match. We're going to have Chris Statlander, Maya World, Persephone, and Hikaru Shida. I'm excited for that match. I just wish it was at All In. If I had 3 matches, I would have dropped to the floor. Yes. But like I said, there are some women that are doing great things. Oh, we're going to hear from Darby. Darby will get the world title. You just have to be patient. You got to be patient. Darby will get his opportunity at the world title. Well, Darby put his words in. Darby put his words in because it could end. But Darby will be world champion. Let's see. I'm looking at this. Darby. Well, hold on. I'm looking at a comment here. So Truth69X. So here's the thing with Darby being champion, because Darby was way overdue being AEW World Champion. He's been there since day one. Granted, I know people were whining and complaining about the way he won, which the match should have been a little bit longer, but also with the fact too he's been there since day one. Granted, I would not even see that, but he wanted to be a wrestler. He wanted to be a wrestler, obviously carry it on his back, which he's done a lot of crazy things, but he's been there. He's been there since day one. And granted, like, I would have loved to see him be champion. It would have been nice to see that. And I guess it was on a Wednesday, but it's been building up for quite some time, especially if you've been paying attention to AEW since the early beginning. It was just a matter of time. And I was happy that he lost to MJF, then Moxley, but the fact MJF is one of his bitter rivals since joining AEW. Now, granted, a lot of people, but if you never got the chance to see his reign, I highly recommend you go back and watch it. Because if I'm going to be honest, if it was Kenny Omega or MJF or even Mox, realistically, who do you think could be able to, like, do you see Brody King getting a title opportunity against Kenny Omega? Or, I mean, he did have a title opportunity against MJF, but did that go anywhere? Do you see Speedball Mike Bailey getting an opportunity for the AEW World title? I mean, granted, he did it with MJF, but he also did it with Darby. And the thing I did like about Darby, he gave guys who really did not have an opportunity to even get an opportunity for the AEW World title. So that was the thing that kind of like set it apart a little bit. At least he was giving a lot of opportunity to a lot of people and settling some grudges. I mean, when was the last time you saw when was the last time you saw Pac get a shot for the AEW World title? Well, that's true. I can understand that you're old school because with Sting, yeah, especially when Sting came to TNA, that was interesting. Well, I mean, that's a choice. I mean, people don't see him in the world title, but somewhere down the line, he was going to get it. And since we're talking about champions, we have Kyle Fletcher. Sir, you don't have the greatest international title reign. I already know who has the best, and that is Orange Cassidy. Is that Takeshka? Oh, Lordy. I don't want him kind of near that belt. Oh boy, so apparently Okada's gonna face Takeshi and Kyle Fletcher in a triple threat match. I mean, it's gonna be a good match. I guess Kyle's not happy. Okada does not need to go for the international belt. He needs to go for the AEW world title. Oh boy. Because Okada doesn't need to go for the international title. He doesn't need to, but here we are. It would surprise me if Kyle wanted to leave anyway. Alright, we have the Continental Challenge Cup. We're in our main event. We're finishing up the first round for tonight for Dynamite. We have Jekyll Jack Perry making his way to the ring, taking on Jon Moxley. Main event. Who's going to advance? Here comes Jack Perry. Oh boy, I will tell you, people love his theme song. I can see a lot of people love his theme song. Well, we do have Miss Renee Paquette doing some backstage analysis heading into Jack Perry and Jon Moxley. It's going to be very interesting. Kyle finally. Well, I don't know about that because he still has. I think Kyle still has a beef with Andrade. Ooh, and we're in overrun at this point, which we're used to it every week. We're used to an overrun, so that's okay. But I'm happy that you guys are here with me for Timeless Elite Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. We are here, and we are in our main event. The first round of the Continental Challenge Cup. Here comes the person that started it all. The ace of AEW. The reigning Continental Champion. Jon Moxley. Or as Jeffrey calls him, Life Coach Mox. Because it's just the way he talks. He's like a life coach. You know, Okada isn't going to be... I know, but... he needs to be. You know what's crazy? Okada was supposed to face off against Darby for the AEW World title, but that didn't happen. And it's crazy he hasn't had an opportunity to taste AEW World title. There comes John. So, ladies and gentlemen, who do you have winning this match? Do you have... Get that on... Get that on a t-shirt. Hey, Life Coach Mox. That could be a good t-shirt, by the way. Feel free to put in the channel who you guys got advancing. Do you see Jon Moxley advancing? Or in a surprising twist, do we see Jack Perry advancing? Just remember, this is the first time these guys are facing each other one-on-one in singles action. So, and John was the one that put up the challenge for this whole Continental Cup challenge. He wants to face the best of the best. He wants people who are hungry. So a lot of people are going for Jack Perry. I would like to see Jack Perry get a win. Because John, he put it out there. He wants to face off against the best of the best. He's up for the challenge. So we shall see. But the bell is run. We're in our main event. Jon Moxley, Jack Perry. The first round of the Continental Cup Challenge. Oh, yes, he does love tournaments. Hold on, let me turn on my TV. Well, we shall see. Because Jack Perry's been at AEW since day one. He's been there since day one. It's hard to believe we're 18 days away from All in Wembley Stadium. It's really crazy. Because last year we were talking about it. Spring we were talking about it. And now here we are. 18 days away from All in Wembley Stadium. It's just crazy. And you can tell there's gonna be a excuse me. You can tell there's gonna be a lot of mind games between those two. Never forget. Oh, who could forget that infamous moment? That was interesting, and even with the stuff between the Elite and FTR, that was interesting. Let's see. You think they'll get cheap? I mean, well, where's it? Oh my goodness. Truth 69X. Well, I've been saying this since last year. Well, Ospreay needs to be world's heavyweight champion. And by that time, I mean now. They've been building up for quite some time. It would be a waste if he didn't get it. Especially with the fact too, with his somewhat alliance with the Death Riders, it helped him out with his neck and made him more like a killer, which he needs to do to beat Kevin A. Omega. He needs to be based like a killer. Oh crap, Jack Perry's busted open. Well, it doesn't surprise me because John bust open everybody, so. And also, they show the rest of the matches for Collision this weekend because they're going to be wrapping up the first round of the Continental Cup Challenge. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like any Mox match, you'll see blood or whatever. Ooh. What's Jack going to do here? Oh, John Moxley threw Jack Perry on the announcer's table. Actually, no, that's a timekeeper's table. And you know what's crazy? Even though everybody's moving the Death Riders, they're still cheering for Moxley. I know, I mean, people do, but I think it's time. You've been building up Will Ospreay. You have him talk about the childhood dream of winning the world title in his home country. It's time. It has to be time to do it. Yeah, as you say, the gloves. Well, I'm watching this match in picture, but the match is still going on live. So it's kind of crazy. Everybody's cheering for John Moxley, but the rest of the Death Riders are heels, and everybody boos them. I just find that really funny. I just find that hilarious. You can tell. Yeah. Yep. So Jeff Merling, you talked about Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is still injured with his shoulder. We don't know how long he's going to be out for because Jurassic Express is on hiatus for a little bit because I would like to see the back of the tag team, but right now Jack Perry's on his. Ooh, my goodness. Jack Perry is he's bleeding like a pig. He's bleeding like a stuffed pig. Ooh, he's busted open. You can dream, 269. You can dream. But I know with Adam Cole, we don't even know the status of when he's gonna come back. But it's gonna be interesting if Ospreay wins. Who's he gonna challenge? It's gonna be very interesting. Luchasaurus has been out for quite some time, since earlier this year. No, last year, late last year, he's been injured. Because I think they had to do something with him. I think the demand took him out indefinitely because he had to heal his shoulder. So it's only a matter of time on when he's going to come back. And also, we haven't seen Edge and Christian. And they have a big tag team match at All in Wembley Stadium. I wouldn't mind seeing an appearance from Edge and Christian. I mean, I know they appeared on Collision. But I would like to see Edge and Christian back on TV. They got a big match at All In. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite. Oh boy. We have Jack Perry, who's bleeding like a stuffed pig, take on Jon Moxley, and it looks like John's body is covered with all of Jack Perry's blood. Yeesh. Ew. Well, I guess that's one way to do it when you face off. If I see Christian with the cast, I'm gonna lose. Yeah, pretty much. And some of them have their own modern lines. Okay, so it's official for the TNT Championship. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match between Kevin Knight and Darby Allin. So it is official, friends. Well, first things first, Truth 69X. If Kofi and Austin Creed do come in, first things first, they not only have to go through the Bucks, they got to go through FTR. Because once FTR comes back, what's the one thing they want? And that is another shot at tag team gold. So we shall see. Needs to Sting. Who knows? We may get an appearance from Sting at All in Wembley Stadium. I wouldn't mind seeing Sting take out Don Callis. That would be pretty funny. Shows up to... That could be a possibility, Roland. I mean, I would not mind seeing them after All In as well. But I think since it's like their biggest show, I mean, it would be interesting to see them show up. Oh, and look at Mox. He's talking trash to Jack Perry. I'm pretty sure he's saying, "You're not ready, kid. This is what you want? You want to wrestle with the best." Nice drop kick by Jack Perry. Like I said, he's bleeding like a stuffed pig. Oh, nice move by Jack. Jack going between the ropes. I'm laughing at the expressions John makes after he's in pain. That was a nice move Jack did. I can't believe Jack still has some energy after losing so much blood. John been watching. Jeffrey, you were too funny. Well, I give credit to Jack Perry. Jack Perry's hanging on. Jack Perry has been hanging on. Oh, elbow drop. Quick kick out by John. Oh, and John's putting on a sleeper hold. But quick kick out. Ooh, that was a nasty close on that Mox did. That was a nasty close like Mox did. She's so nasty. Ooh, Tombstone. Is it a... it's not over yet. I don't know why Tony Schiavone said it's over. It's not over yet. Jack Perry is still holding on. He's still holding on. You gotta give kudos on that. He's hanging in there. Ooh, that was a nasty clothesline. Quick, you got my Jack is still holding on. So Truth 69X. So for me, on my origin of wrestling, I started watching wrestling back in 2002. That was when WWE had the Ruthless Aggression era. So I missed the Attitude Era, and I started getting into it when it was Ruthless Aggression. So that was when it was starting to pick up, because you had John, you had Kurt, you had Randy that were little babies, but it's continuing that. Shawn Michaels was having resurgence. So I started watching that in 2002. And there was one particular episode of Raw I was watching because Jeff Hardy had his match with The Undertaker. And that was like one of the best things I saw on TV. So that kind of really rejuvenated my love for wrestling. In 2002, I started watching TNA back in 04, 05 because I was able to get it on my cable. So that was really fascinating too. I have been watching WWE ever since. And it's just something that's always been in my blood. Have no shame in it. And also with the fact too, I've been familiarizing myself with wrestling even way before I started watching. Like obviously with the Attitude Era, the New Generation, the Rock and Wrestling crossover, the territories, just picking up on some of this history on wrestling. And Jack Perry's put the middle finger on Mox. That is hilarious. But anyways, going back to my love of wrestling, that's how I got into wrestling. Obviously, when I got into AEW, I didn't suffer through the New Generation. I thankfully I was in the Ruthless Aggression era, but when I looked back at some of the stuff from the New Generation, it was fascinating. It's very fascinating. And obviously with AEW, I would have not gone on it if it wasn't for Toni Storm, because I met Toni when she was released from WWE after a couple weeks. She didn't have anybody for her table, and I had a chance to chat with her, and then we talked about what happened with her with WWE. But she was very, very nice person. I gave her a hug and we left. And then a few days later, she appeared on AEW. And that's how I got into AEW. What's Jack doing? Is he really going to do a tombstone on Mox? Ooh, Jack Perry's got a submission hold. Mox is not going to tap. He's already, you know what's funny? Last year, I think he tapped like 3 times last year. I'm like, I can't see Mox tap. That's crazy talk. Can you imagine how much backlash he would get after he got tapped out? Oh, yeah, exactly. I've been a fan. And plus, I'm still learning in this crazy space of professional wrestling. So, been a fan of it ever since. But I also have to get constructive criticism because I want to see the AEW women's division get their shine in. Give them more matches and give them more matches out on give them more matches on Dynamite and more matches on the pay-per-view card. I can't believe Jack, he's bleeding like a stuffed pig. And he's trying to put the submission on Mox, but he's hey, listen, I give him credit too. I mean, if Luke Perry was my dad, I mean, I would have to prove a point. But woo, look at John Moxley. Jack Perry. Hey, listen, I give credit to Jack. I give an A for effort for Jack Perry to hold on into this match. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty good, solid episode of Dynamite. He's fading. Yeah, is he fading? No, Jack's holding on. He's holding on. Ooh, and this is where John puts a submission hold in. Jack is fading. He is fading. Yeah, that's it. That is it. That's it. John Moxley gets the win. I mean, after fading like that in submission hold, that's it. So John advances. Ooh, that was a good match, by the way, friends. So far, we have Claudio, my guy Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, Jay White, and John Moxley all advance. We just have 3 more spots left. Yeah, I give credit to Jack Perry. Yeah. With Luke Perry. Well, the question is, who's going to beat Mox? Friendly reminder, Collision is this Saturday. Let's see what's happening here. I think they're going to shake hands after this. They're going to shake hands. So it's a sign of respect. Shaking hands. That's what it's about with wrestling. Shaking hands. But that wraps up AEW Dynamite. That wraps up Dynamite right before 10:30. That's how you end Dynamite. Now we know Jay White and John Moxley advance. It's at the Continental Cup Challenge. We have 3 more matches happening on Collision this weekend. We have Kazuchika Shibata taking on Nigel McGuinness, who, by the way, I picked Nigel McGuinness to win, which I thought would be interesting. We have Kyle O'Reilly taking on Roderick Strong, and we have Brian Cage taking on Hechicero. The final 3 matches on Collision this weekend. But overall, it's pretty much getting you ready for All In Wembley Stadium. Obviously, of course, Will Ospreay kicks off the show. Said what you have to say. It's going to be interesting with him and Kenny. And then, of course, you have that bald-headed peanut creep Don Callis coming in the way. We also found out MJF is now the number 2 spot for the men's casino gauntlet match. We know Andrade is number 1. Courtney, it is a classic combo. Ultimate Production 1. It is a classic combo. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, I was happy to see 2 ladies matches. Viva Van taking on Chris Statlander, and also Maya World picking up the victory. Her and Thunder Rosa taking on Persephone and Hikaru Shida. Also, we did find out Kyle Fletcher will be defending his AEW International Championship. We're just waiting for it to be official because it looks like it's going to be not just Takeshita, but also Okada. I do not need to see Okada with that international title belt. I do not. No. He needs to go for the AEW World title. I don't care what anybody says. He needs to go for that AEW World title picture. Like, I don't care how long it takes. Just get him in there. But we did have some interesting matches. And we're just... Oh, and I didn't appreciate the Divine Dominions invading my gals, the Brawling Birds, spot and destroying their pints of beer. I didn't appreciate that because I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to mess with the Birds because they will beat the absolute crap out of you. So hopefully the Birds get some retribution on Collision because the Divine Dominion will be in action this Saturday on Collision. But overall, it's been a solid match. It did what it needed to do. Obviously, Jack Perry did not give up. He didn't want to quit, but in the end, John Moxley just came up as the victor. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out because we're just 18 days away from Wembley Stadium. But this wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday with me. It was definitely a fun show with all of you. I'm very happy I get to do these watch-alongs with our AEW Dynamite. Even though, like I said, not everybody watches AEW, but there is some good stuff on there. It may not be what everybody agrees with, but I'm okay with that. But I do want to shout out everyone in the chat for hanging with me, from Boza to Jeffrey to Ultimate Unlimited Production 1. Honey popped in for a bit. Aaron Teagle, Eddie Foster, Roland, all of you. You guys know who you are for hopping with me every Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite because it's always fun. And also, you did have my 2-year anniversary as well of WWT. It's been very, very fun spending time with all of you. You guys know where to find me on my socials because I will have some content happening. I will post my interviews from NWA with Giselle and Tiffany because they are great and they're almost done finalizing, and I can't wait for you guys to watch it on WWT's YouTube channel. And shout out to the rest of my panel because everybody's been doing great work. Make sure to catch me tomorrow for TNA Impact because we're continuing coverage of the Knockouts TV tournament and on the road to lockdown. Also, my siblings will be doing the Kayfabe podcast too tomorrow. So they'll be giving you the rundown on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and also their own original segments that they have. So make sure to check out that. But I bid you adieu and ready to sign off. And I want to thank everybody for supporting this incredible platform of women's wrestling talk. And they are the number one women's wrestling network on the planet. I bid you adieu. Good night. And I will see you back here tomorrow for TNA.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.